According to Acts chapter 17, after Paul and his companions passed through Amphipolis and Apollonia, they arrived in Thessalonica, now called Thessaloniki, about 35 miles west of Philippi.
This is Thessaloniki, a modern city of about 1 million people, considered the second most important city in all of Greece after Athens. The diverse architecture, including here at Aristotle Square, is a result of the city's central location for the entire region, considered a primary transportation link between Europe and the Middle East. In addition to its commercial importance, Thessaloniki was also a military and political hub. Merchants, traders, and refugees from all over the Mediterranean region have settled in Thessaloniki for millennia.
When Paul arrived here in about 49 AD, Thessalonica was the capital and most important city of the Roman province of Macedonia. It was strategic and powerful, located at the crossroads of two major trade routes. Thessalonica also had its own harbor on the Aegean Sea. By the way, Thessalonica in our Bibles is the same place as Thessaloniki today. It was just spelled differently during the Roman period, when K was hardly ever used.
Remains of the ancient harbor are now here, under these neighborhoods by the shore. As we've seen at other Mediterranean harbors, silt caused the shoreline to recede over the centuries.
Anyway, like many cities of ancient Macedonia, Thessalonica was a walled city. During the Roman period, it also had the typical forum, bath complex, temple to the imperial cult, gymnasium, stadium, an acropolis for defense, and monumental city gates.
The ancient ruins of Thessalonica from the time of Paul mostly lie under this modern city. Now, the Forum, visible to us today, was rebuilt in the 2nd century AD, but probably directly over the Forum from the time of Paul. Now, this Odeon, or small theater, also dates to the 2nd century AD. Since there was a Jewish synagogue here in ancient Thessalonica, Paul followed his normal custom of visiting the Jewish congregation here. Now, the 1st century synagogue has yet to be unearthed, but an ancient inscribed synagogue plaque with lines in both Greek and Samaritan Hebrew has been discovered here. Now, this plaque dates to about the 4th century AD, but throughout the Roman Empire, new synagogues were built directly over older synagogues, so it's still pretty impressive evidence. Through the reasoning of Paul, some of the Jews, many of the God-fearers, and even certain women of the elite believed in the truth of the gospel. Unfortunately, many of the Jews rejected Paul's message and sparked an opposition like he had experienced in other cities. Now, according to Acts chapter 17, the Jews formed a mob, started a riot, and stormed the house of Jason, a recent convert to Christianity. Since they couldn't find Paul and his team, they dragged Jason and some fellow Christians before the city officials and accused them of breaking the laws of Rome, including swearing allegiance to another king. According to Luke, these city officials were known as politarchs. Now, in the 1800s, an inscription was discovered in ancient Thessalonica revealing the exact same thing, that 1st century leaders here in Thessalonica were known as politarchs, just like Luke said.
As was his custom, Paul went into the synagogue, and on 3 Sabbath days he reasoned with them from the Scriptures, explaining and proving that the Messiah had to suffer and rise from the dead. "This Jesus I am proclaiming to you is the Messiah," he said. Some of the Jews were persuaded and joined Paul and Silas, as did a large number of God-fearing Greeks and quite a few prominent women. Acts 17, 2-4.